Okay, hey everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Well, that's the wrong that's the wrong intro. Welcome back to the most interactive wrestling show on the interweb. Welcome back to Wrestling with Omer. I am your host, as always, Omer Q. We've got a good amount to talk about today. As you guys know, this is a fan-run show. First and foremost, we got Wall Street Money. We got Leo Relic in the chat. What's up, boys? How you doing, fellas? We've got a lot to get to today, as I said, but again, fan-run show. You guys decide what we talk about. Your chats, your questions, your comments, your opinions is what we use to kind of just waste and kill time. So we're going to do that. Guys, we do have a bit of not a change, but yeah, we got a thing going on here. I got a 5 super chat goal for super chats that are $2 or more. So if we get 5 of those, I'm going to react to my first wrestling video here in front of all of y'all. So that's going to be a thing that we're going to do. So, okay. We got crossover in other chats. We love that. Shout out to Leo and Wall Street Money for that. Guys, be sure to leave a thumbs up, though. Even if you don't leave a super chat, though, I'll try to get to as many as we reasonably can. But if you want to guarantee your question or statement is also read out in the air, be sure to leave a super chat and leave a thumbs up. All right. First and foremost, we got Britt Baker to talk about. We'll get into that whole situation. It seems to be something that, I think, like, we all expected the Britt Baker thing to eventually come to a head. She's not been on TV. She has been sporadically used ever since she returned, and it's raised eyebrows, it's raised questions, and understandably so. So we can get into that. We're also going to get into Ilya Dragunov, apparently ready for a return, the location for WrestleMania. Hell, I mean, there's so much to talk about. TNA had a show last night. GCW had a show last night that led to PCO crashing out. It's never a dull moment or a dull time in professional wrestling, is it, guys? It's just like, I feel like there's always something going on. We got Jay Barnacles in the chat. What's up, Jay? Hope you're doing. Shout out to Seattle. I was up there. I love Seattle. I expected Britt Baker to end with AEW as soon as I saw her. Though No One Cares live on television. Serena D even killed the entire story. Yeah. Do you think we'll see Tessa Blanchard in WWE? I will answer this. You never say never in pro wrestling, because at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about that. I find it very, very difficult to believe. And again, I don't know. Here's my thing. All right, I'll be clear. Chelsea Green, current WWE United States champion Chelsea Green, literally called Tessa Blanchard a bully and a racist recently. So to me, that her appearing on a WWE show, whether it's NXT or regardless, would just be sowing a little bit of discontent in the locker room. And I don't think WWE wants that. I think Triple H is cognizant of that. And I don't think, like, of all the people you could want, I think Masha is up on that list. I don't think Tessa is necessarily, like, or I don't think that not having Tessa Blanchard available is going to necessarily kill things. I think they're going to be fine without her. That's just my understanding of it, but I don't know. I don't think she's necessary to have involved. I don't think that it's a good idea probably for her to be involved. Just because of her history and the fact that a lot of people do feel like, and again, this is just not my opinion, but there are people who've said this about Tessa Blanchard. They don't feel like she was necessarily as sorry as maybe she let on about everything that went on with her situation. So, yeah, we got Anthony Phillips. I love your YouTube channel. I love you, Anthony. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love the community we're building here, guys. These streams are getting to be a lot of fun. That's why I'm doing them more often, too. Kind of sucks that Britt is leaving or not appearing in AEW anymore. She was a day one OG. Yeah, let's just get right into it and talk about it for those who may not know. Britt Baker, it looks like she is done with AEW. I did a video on this about, like, just kind of talking about the report here from PW Torch, but it seems to be a bit messy. So I just want to make sure that we get through the meat of this, and then again we'll just talk about what this could mean. So here is the report from PW Torch about Britt Baker, Tony Khan, and everything that's going on. She might be done with AEW. At least the feeling I'm getting from talking to people in AEW is Tony Khan might have her in the same category as some other wrestlers where they just don't get phone calls and don't get called into the show to show up. I can't read today. I don't know what's going on, guys. Maybe it's something in the air. So there's a lot of frustration with her, I'm told, and I've heard this pretty consistently. She's widely unpopular in the women's locker room. One person said no one ever wants to see her come back. Speaking of the women's locker room. Now, that is a bold and broad statement. I could imagine somebody on social media going, I'm a woman wrestler in the AEW, and I want her back. Okay, fair enough, but I'm just telling you, somebody's perception is nobody wants her back. That's how bad it is. Somebody is willing to tell me that. Goes on to say, there's a specific incident with her. There was an incident with her and MJF, and I'm told that factors into her being off television, but there are other issues with her that have come up. She has become increasingly difficult to work with in a general sense. She has always had a reputation for being difficult to work with. There was a specific situation recently, not counting the MJF situation, where people just threw their hands up. It wasn't like a huge deal, but it was enough to sort of be the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of just a feeling like, you know what? We've got a strong women's division now compared to when she was on top. And we don't need to deal with her if she's going to be this difficult to work with. So that's where they are. There's also a little blurb here that kind of pushes back to a lot of rumor and online speculation that the Adam Cole situation had anything to do with this. It is. I never went there with Britt. I don't think that that's an appropriate place to go. I mean, that is their situation. That is their stuff, and it doesn't seem to have affected what has happened with her backstage, because this is something that predates, them breaking up, right? So, Wall Street Money, we need to call Kenny Baum. We need Kenny Baum to call Tony Khan and fix us. All right, hey man, if there's one person who can bridge this gap, it is Kenny Baum. Shout out to Kenny Baum. Guys, by the way, guys, that is a good shout. Go subscribe to Kenny Baum's channel. My boy had his YouTube channel stripped away from him. They took it. Someone stole it. The crypto scammers are at it again, just like they are in the White House right now. But guys, go support Kenny Baum. He got it back. Shout out to Kenny Baum and Team YouTube for doing something good there. But anyway, back to this whole Britt Baker situation. It's pretty bad. I mean, we can sugarcoat this as like, oh, well, this could be a work. No, it's kind of been like I don't want to say an open secret, but like it's been understood that there's been a lot of tension between Britt Baker and several of the talent in WWE. Or sorry, in AEW, excuse me. It's been kind of understood that there's been, a lot of people who don't necessarily like the way Britt Baker handles herself. And this was like highlighted briefly on that reality show they had. I think it was like AEW Backstage. And we all thought that, they're working into a storyline or whatever, but it turns out there's legitimate heat there. And like with Thunder Rosa, that's always been the case. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker have always not gotten along, and despite having amazing chemistry in the ring, you could argue a lot of Britt Baker's best matches of her career have been with Thunder Rosa. Despite that, they have not gotten along. AEW All Access. Thank you, Leo. But regardless, they were able to do work. And I think, I think, Wade's reporting here, Wade Keller from PW Torch, his reporting here is pretty, it's pretty clear that this was over a couple of years. And it's one thing to have like one or two incidents over like a span of like, a couple of years and like, okay, like maybe this is a thing you got to watch out for. But if this is like a situation where you're constantly beating your head against the wall, you're constantly having to fight with a talent about like what they're doing or potentially, who they're facing, and man, it just might be time to cut ties. And it looks like she's in the same boat as someone like a Miro is, in that, Miro and AEW have had a lot of creative differences, to say the least. And he's just not being used. He was in Bulgaria for a couple of months here this past year, and he just wasn't being used. And they don't seem to be keen on using him. He doesn't seem keen on wanting to come back. I think he was actually wanting to get out of his contract. He was trying to ask Tony for a release, and it doesn't seem like that happened, or is happening. I think Miro is going to have to stay throughout his contract. So, it's a tough situation. We got Michelle in the chat. Britt had arguments with many people backstage. A more recent one with MJF over his girlfriend, Omer. What is the main issue with AEW management? I mean, this isn't like an AEW management issue. I mean, this is just like, I think this is like AEW management being like, all right, well, she obviously is not popular backstage. We don't want that. And if things are not going to change, then maybe it's best that she's not there. And that might be the decision they've came to. And if it's, in my view, if it's that bad, right, like, sure, you run the risk of Britt Baker going to WWE if you release her, right? And this is not like advocating for Britt to be fired. I'm not like saying that. However, if she wants out of her deal, right, and AEW obviously is not keen on using her, then I think you let her go. She's going to go to WWE. Like that will happen. There's going to be a lot of people who tell you, like, oh, well, she wouldn't do X, Y, or Z. No, WWE, Triple H would pick her up in a heartbeat. Triple H would seem to be very impressed, according to a couple of reports and rumors a couple of years ago, with the work that Britt Baker has done. And I think Triple H would be very, very understanding of what getting Britt Baker would mean. And I also think, similar to kind of how CM Punk has, quote unquote, behaved himself in WWE upon his return, I don't think you're going to run into many of those issues because, again, WWE's been around a much longer time than AEW. They have had a lot of time to work through and build a structure over decades that, at least in the sense of like people crashing out, people leaking stuff, is not going to happen unless things get really bad, as they did in 2020 and 2021 under Vince McMahon. And that's when you heard leaks every single week about how horrible WWE was and how people hated working there. Like, at the end of the day, when you have these many leaks in your locker room, it is a sign that there's a problem. And whether it's booking, whether it's exposure, whether it's you have too many talent and there's going to be a disgruntled amount of talent, then, man, I think, like, you got to deal with it. And that's why I think when a talent comes to Tony Khan and says, I want out, and obviously depending on who that talent is, if Jon Moxley is being like, Tony, I want out, you're going to have a conversation or two with him, be like, hey, whoa. Hey, John, let's work something out here, all right? Like that's what we're not doing. Britt Baker, someone who's been there and who has done like a lot. Like, maybe it's time. And sometimes it's just time to leave the territory, and that's not a bad thing. Got a lot of chats here. We got Taco Kid in the chat. Yo, at work right now, but just popping in and say hi. What's up, Taco Kid? Shout out to you, man. Hopefully you have a nice day at work. Guys, be sure to leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. If AEW was a trending company, I'd say you keep talent under contract. The reality is they are not any good and should be downsized pretty much in every aspect. They should not hold on to talent. I mean, it's not even like a money thing because like their current contract or with WBD is going to pay them enough money to not only be profitable but also like expand the amount of money they can spend on talent. I think they should use that money more wisely from a business standpoint. And again, I'm not going to give AEW business advice like on the regular like that. But like it just seems wise to do that. And honestly, like they need to up their marketing. So if you're able, like if Ray Phoenix, for example, someone we know has wanted out from AEW. Miro, whatever you want to call him, wants out from AEW. That amount of money, that's like a couple of $100,000s at least that open up, potentially $1 million or $2 million that open up. You can use that money towards marketing that you desperately need. AEW needs better marketing. I mean, it's part of the reason why we've seen attendance dwindling. It used to be the case where AEW's coming to town, you know, because it's all around. They have ads everywhere. I don't think they've done a good job of marketing their shows, both on their TV as well as like in the cities they're going to be in. Just wait till the stable turns into anti-AEW, anti-Tony Khan rant online. No, I'm not. Oh, whoa, me? No, you can bet your entire life. I mean, you're talking about other people. Here's the thing, man. I still think Tony Khan is booking TV better than Triple H's right now. If we really want to talk about it, but that's neither here nor there. They're both getting lapped by Gedo and New Japan, but that's neither here nor there. Facts, they should do more marketing. They rely too much on social media. Yeah, and it's one of those funny things that social media is largely what carried AEW in its first year. It was a lot of social media buzz and the excitement of a new wrestling company with a fresh perspective. But it's no longer 2019, guys. It's time to get up. It's time to do something different. It's time to expand. Because you're not as hot as you were in 2019. The television is not as connected, and the stories aren't as hitting as they were in 2019. And there's not just that excitement. People were more inclined to watch it. TV numbers are dwindling. Like you gotta do. It's hard too because they are a young company. I'm sure they don't have the structures in place that a WWE has, but they need to upsize. And there's going to be growing pains over the next couple of years that AEW is going to be dealing with. AEW not releasing talent they don't use in case of Miro and extended contract due to injury and Rey Fenix. You agree with the strategy? I mean, personally, I am a lot more sympathetic to, I tend to be a lot more sympathetic to wrestlers. But at the end of the day, I also understand, you signed the deal. You took the King's shilling. You kind of understood. But I mean, look, if you're not going to use Miro and you're just going to pay him to sit on the shelf and he wants out, it's very nice that you're paying them that money. It's very nice. But I'm also man, why hold on to him? And you're also looking at WWE, man. WWE is about they're signing everybody, right? So maybe they get to a point where they end up being the company that has a boatload of talent that they don't know what to do with. Focus on the talent you got. Focus on the talent that want to be there. Focus on the talent that you're investing in. Who is this fool? HHH and WWE are on fire. HHH is the best booker. I don't agree with that. I mean, they're on fire. Yeah, they're business-wise. They're fucking Disney, bro. They're fucking Disney. Marvel. Here's the thing, man. Everyone universally agrees. The MCU is booty cheeks right now. They're still making billions of dollars, though. They're still the hottest movie entity right now. And why is that? Because they're fucking Disney. They're fucking Marvel. Same thing with WWE. They're fucking WWE. All they gotta do is trot out IP. Look at Raw on Netflix. Bring out The Rock. He doesn't have to say anything that makes sense. Bring out The Rock. Bring out Taker. Bring out Cody. IP. Trending worldwide. That's a good global brand. There we go. And again, I think Triple H, there's things that I really love about the way he books the show. But at the end of the day, he is regressing as a booker. It is just the truth. In many of the similar ways that Tony Khan began to regress as a booker in 2023. AEW made a mistake believing they were a big player before establishing a foundation. Now they're cold. They're scrambling. I mean, they're colder, sure, but They're still getting around 600,000 people who watch on a weekly basis their main show. They're still getting paid a boatload of money, enough to make them profitable. Like, they're fine. They're fine right now. Hey, Big O. Oh, Devon Lewis. Shout out to Devon Lewis, a friend of the show, guys. Go subscribe to his channel as well. Hey, Big O. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you too, my friend. Want to know where most of the WrestleMania will be. Follow the Super Bowl goes to previous. Oh, this is actually something that I did like pick up on, because, and I noticed too, like right before I was going through like saving my tweets for the stream, and you know, it is interesting, kind of like the strategy that WWE is doing with the WrestleMania, because, you know, last year they held this big press conference where the Super Bowl was in Las Vegas, and it was like the WrestleMania press conference for, obviously the WrestleMania was going to be in Philly, but they did that, and then they soon after announced that the WrestleMania in 2025 was going to be in Vegas. This year, it seems like they're doing a similar thing with the Superdome. So maybe like, you know, the city's like, hey, 1 year we'll have the Super Bowl, the next year we'll have WrestleMania, and they'll just keep that pattern going. I think it's a bit more of a coincidence right now, but I mean, I don't think it's a sustainable thing, because eventually they're going to take, WWE is still going to go with whoever offers them the most money. Just end the Death Rider storyline. I mean, yeah, just end it. Mohammed in the chat. Hey, Mohammed, how are you? It says, happy Monday. I hope you're doing well. Same with everyone here in the live. Yeah, shout out to everyone in the live. Shout out to everyone watching. Guys, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We got a little bit of a super chat goal of 5, so if you help us get there, that's great, and I will react to my first ever wrestling video, which is going to be interesting. Costco guys did better marketing. Yeah, Costco guys did actually great marketing. They helped sell out the Prudential Center. Oh man, I just spilled. It's okay. I got an OxyClean pen. We'll fix this. Instead, that's fine. Yeah, whatever. You know, it happens. All right. Michelle in the chat, I asked because if they're ever going to pull Rey Fenix merchandise, just take it out from the store the day after Penta debuted. It's a bad look. Yeah, I mean, it also, and I agree, it's a bad look. It also just might be the case that they stopped producing Rey Fenix merch, and they might not have enough to continue selling. Because they understand that Rey Fenix is gone. Because remember, you can only like sell stuff that you have already produced. I agree that nothing is topping 2019 to 2021 AEW overall. It's still AEW. Yeah, I think AEW is like, I still enjoy Dynamite, like as far as like compared to Raw or SmackDown. As a fan, I think NXT is killing it though, man. NXT right now, man, that is a fun show to watch, and that feels like a hot underground show. But yeah. Having marketing advertising issues. Darby Allin used to do advertising local radio though. Yeah, they still do it, but they don't. I just don't think they. And again, I'm not in the marketing team there. I just know I have a marketing background. I have a PR background, and I kind of just outside looking in, it just does not seem like they're doing as effective a job as they probably could be. I think AEW will be fine without Britt Baker because they have Mercedes and Tony. Yeah, the women's division is on fire. You have Mercedes, Tony, you have Mariah May, you have Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, heavy hitters across the board in that women's division. Julia Hart, Jamie Hayter, the list goes on and on and on and on. You could do any form, Hikaru Shida, Mina Shirakawa, who's basically AEW at this point. Like, you could do any combination of those talents as a feud or as a storyline, whatever, and it's going to hit. They have such a loaded women's main event scene. It's unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. And that is like part of like the frustration I think many AEW fans even have of like the current product is like, there is a disconnect with how talented that roster is. I genuinely believe that AEW right now has the most talented roster in all of wrestling. And one of the most talented rosters in the history of pro wrestling. Like, you from the men's division, women's division, no, it does not matter. They have an insane amount of talent on that show. But there is a disconnect between that talent and how good the output is on TV. A lot of it ends up coming down to bookings and chemistry and things like that. A lot of it is on Tony. And I've said this, and I don't want to be the guy who's always like, Tony could be better. Because I still enjoy a lot of what's going on. I thought you take away the Death Rider stuff from this week's past Dynamite. You take away 10 minutes of that MJF, Jeff Jarrett stuff. I thought that was a great episode of Dynamite. Almost a perfect episode of Dynamite. Outside of those two things, but those were two big things. Because you had like a 20-minute long Jeff Jarrett MJF segment that only needed to be 10, where they were like exchanging like just some of the worst written stuff, like WWE Vince-esque stuff. And then that main event, I mean, we've already talked about the Death Riders. I've already talked about it. I'm not going to belabor the point. But, you know, like, otherwise, it was a great show, and I thought they presented Mercedes in exactly, like, don't have Mercedes just show up to the arena, cut a promo backstage. Like, no, like, show her out there. Like, Mercedes should be out there doing the interviews. Have her go out there on these TV shows, on these daytime shows, on these nightly shows. Have her be the one go out there. Like, set her up there, play those video packages, show how big Mercedes Moné is as a star. It's true, Kenny Omega leaving AEW this year, so he cannot leave AEW this year. Unless they fire him, he is signed through 2027. Kenny Omega is not leaving AEW this year. AEW has Christian Cage equals automatic win for AEW case closed. I mean, like, hard to argue with that logic. Shida versus Mina would go crazy. They should put on a pure Joshi match. Yeah, they should. Tony has a problem when it comes to the roster. I mean, yeah, it is a booking at the end of the day, right? I have some business to conduct, says Jason Aaron. Damn right. Shut your mouths while I'm conducting my business. Oh, man. I love how, like, my Christian Cage impression sounds smack like my Tony Khan. Well, it's just, like, a little bit of a toned-down version of my Tony Khan. Because, like, Tony Khan, you know, Tony, he be coming out there before the show. He's like, all right, welcome. We're here live in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., home of the best AEW show that I ever put on, the first ever AEW Dynamite. I love Tony. He's just like, what a character that guy is. Oh, man. What's up, Joe? I see you in the chat. MJF will never get over in WWE. Oh, he would 100% get over in WWE. No question. MJF is probably like the most talented, like, all-around performer in all of wrestling. Promo, in-ring, storytelling. He's the 5-tool player. I once, like, I like, still think this is true. Like, if you had to do like a player comp for MJF, I would say he's like a modern day Ric Flair, because homie just has every aspect of the game down. Now, does he shine everything all at once all the time? No, but he really is, like, when he's there, when he's cooking, it's different. And I genuinely think, like, he is, like, he is a generational talent, as he says. MJF would make WWE cry. He would make kids cry, brah. Shout out to OSW. I think this year TNA will have a good 2025. They're already having a great 2025. Shout out to Joe Hendry. Shout out to Joe Hendry. If you were WWE, put Jordan Grace in NXT in the main roster. NXT probably. I think that's where she's going to go. And they're going to and I think Chef Michaels, you have a division now with Jordan Grace, with Stephanie Valcourt and Julia be the ones who are gunning for that belt. That's a hell of a main event scene in NXT. Only AEW stooge marks think MJF is over. All right. Britt Baker might be going to TNA, WWE. She would be going to WWE, 100%. If she's a free agent, she goes to WWE. Guys, by the way, there's 28 of you watching live. Shout out to all of y'all. Be sure to leave a thumbs up, hit that like button. It really helps out the algorithm, helps more people join the stream, and it also helps my self-esteem. Also, be sure, if you guys haven't already, leave a super chat to make sure your question or statement is answered. I want to see Corbin in AEW. That's what we not seeing. No, but in all seriousness, I think we could one day. I just don't see it happening anytime soon. There's not a spot for him, and until there is, I just don't think there's going to be. Happy MLK Day! Shout out to MLK. Happy MLK Day, everyone. You guys see the FBI? Hold on, let me. This has nothing to do with wrestling, but this is a wild crash out by whoever runs the FBI's Twitter account. The FBI had the audacity, the audaciousness, one could say, to tweet about MLK Day today. After they literally targeted MLK for his entire career or his entire life, and there's even a community note about it, which is hilarious to me. Yes, and J. Edgar Hoover was a racist, despite what that Leonardo DiCaprio movie tells you. Anyway, I'm starting to like wrestling fans again with them booing Hogan. Tessa Blanchard. Yeah, hold up. No, let me see if I can find the clip, because this was crazy. Tessa Blanchard at the TNA Genesis show was not well received. Her reception was not exactly well received. Let me see if I can play at least the audio of this, because I know damn well I can't play the clip. All right, let's see. All right, so here's the audio. Here's one of the audio. There's two pieces of audio of this crowd cooking Tessa Blanchard, who at one point had said some pretty racist things, allegedly.
Smash Ray Walker. Here's the thing. This thing has gotten so personal so fast with these two. Oh, my God.
So they were chanting F you, Tessa, in that one, but things did not get better for old Tessa Blanchard over there. So here's the audio from the other clip where they just tell it like it is, apparently. They are chanting "She's a racist" at Tessa Blanchard at Genesis. Look, that's a messy situation there. I will say I lean on the Chelsea Green side of things. It does not. I don't know Tessa Blanchard. I just know the things that we've heard, and it does not seem like she has exactly been as sorry as many people who were wronged by her feel like. So, and to get that reaction in Texas of all places is crazy. That is a wild thing to be called for that crowd in Texas. Granted, it's Austin, to be like, you're a racist. Maybe it's got WWE rethinking their Hulk Hogan strategy for Saturday night's main event in Texas. Maybe. TNA Genesis will never be Sega Genesis. Oh, man. We got Leo in the chat. TNA about to pull an actual racist character for her, capitalize on the chat. Do not. Nah, that would be crazy. I think WWE would even be like, all right, in this area, look, we're a global brand. We can't be doing all that. Look, it was great 20 years ago when I was doing it, because I'm the game. But, it's a global brand now. Can't be doing all that. But unless it makes money and adds value. Because at the end of the day, we're a global brand that cares about money. That's why you see dude wipes in the main event of WrestleMania. It's like dude wipes in the main event of WrestleMania. It was crazy. We got Just Brian leaving a $4 super chat. Shout out to my boy. He just did a podcast, by the way, guys. If you're a big fan of WWE 2K, Just Brian, Kenny Baum, Lex Express, and a bunch of other great content creators did a podcast over on Just Brian's channel. Go check that out. As wrong and as whack as his takes are about professional wrestling entertainment, his takes and his perspective on professional wrestling video games are sublime, and he's one of the best out there. Shout out to you, little bro. Shout out to you. Man. Have you seen Bleacher Reports? Last 2 weeks of Raw, they're giving it an A+. I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, look, anyone who gave week 1, like the Netflix Raw, an A+ is smoking something that is either currently or under Trump is about to be illegal, because that's a psychotic take. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you smoke. That's a Mike Tyson DMT. Like, I don't know. You got to be on something insane. Or to quote Stephen A. Smith, you want crack? That's literally what Stephen A. Smith had. Anyway, yeah, no, that first episode of Raw sucked. But second episode, I mean, look, if that's your thing, I don't mind people giving that an A+. That first one was like literally one of the worst episodes of Raw I've ever watched. We got Kenny Baum in the chat. Kenny Baum in the building, guys. My boy Kenny Baum is back from the dead. The dead man has risen, much like his favorite wrestler. Kenny Baum is back after being buried alive by the crypto gods. Anyway, Kenny Baum's channel is back. If you guys haven't subscribed, go subscribe. Go hit likes on all of his videos. Get that man back in the algorithm and get him back and going. Leo Rillick in the chat. I have no idea why I thought GM mode was a good idea. I can't wait to mod my Xbox 360 and go back to SVR 2007 GM mode. It's like Lamar Odom, who was on crack. An exact quote from Stephen A. Smith. That's also what he said about people who think that episode of Raw was good. That was a horrendous episode of God. Like the Russian crypto gods, man, bro, don't mess with that Russian mafia, bro. They different up there. They do it different. I was a fan of Hulk Hogan as a child. I grew up in his knowledge. I just don't care about him anymore. I mean, bro, it be like that. And yeah, if you're like me and you got a little color in you, he does not care about you either. So I feel that way too. Yeah, it sucks. It's like that's why they say don't meet your heroes. Who's the best mid-card scene? This is from Michelle. In your opinion, it's hard to judge best mid-card scene. It depends what we mean, right? Like, as far as like entertainment, I would probably go with NXT still. Actually, no, New Japan. Oh, it's New Japan by a country mile. Like Yota Tsuji is the global champion. Hell yeah. So I'd say New Japan probably. From a talent perspective, it's AEW, but the stories are just not hitting as they should. And Daniel Garcia, man, he's the TNT champion. Does he feel like he's the TNT champion? No. Omer, your opinion, why all the AEW hate? I don't hate AEW. There's a difference between critiquing AEW. I certainly do this. I critique AEW a lot more nowadays compared to like a couple of years ago, just by virtue of there being a lot more to critique. And that's just my opinion. I do think that there's a large amount of people who are pro WWE. And look, this is also a thing like this known. Like, there are people who either by hook or by crook are on WWE's side. And I'm not saying that, like the conspiracy. I'm not going like that. But like, look, people understand hating on AEW can make you a lot of money if you're like Eric Bischoff, Jim Cornette, or Conan, and it can get you clicks on like your channel. Like people love getting clicks. And look, I'm a YouTuber. I like getting clicks, but when you click on the video, I'm not gonna tell you something I don't believe in, right? Like, if you have to be stupid to think that Tony Khan can't book. Right? You have to be like literally stupid or dishonest. And I think a lot of it is the latter. People are just dishonest. People have picked their teams. People have already decided they're going to be on whoever's side. And that's their grift. And that's just the way they are. And that's fine. They can do that. It's just not my game. And I don't appreciate it. At the same time, though, I also think that the issue is that you get a lot of people who do have good faith critiques of AEW who kind of get lost in that whole like, oh, are they a grifter or are they not? And it's the same way at WWE, man. Like WWE, like there's a lot of people who like hate on WWE. It's less so. The reason why AEW gets more hate is because the WWE fan base is just larger and they've been around longer, and people have that good feeling with them. I love AEW. I just wanted to get better, and I have issues with WWE too. Yeah, I mean, like Triple H is not cooking. Triple H is like he's on probably the worst streak as a booker he's ever had, including his time in NXT. Like the past, like I would say ever post Mania, it is some of the worst stuff the worst stuff he's ever booked. Like just look at Cody's title reign. Cody's title reign outside of this Kevin Owens stuff has been horrible. Like, and that's underwhelming compared to just where people expect it, because the chase is always going to be better, right? We all know that the chase is always going to be better for a guy who you want to see win the belt, and and him actually being champion is never going to live up to it. But even compared to the low expectations that I had, that many of us had, this has been horrible. Cody has been third, fourth, fifth fiddle in some cases on TV, and this is the guy that you presented as your biggest star. They dropped the ball. They fumbled. It's just the truth. But I mean, I also think like a lot of the tribalism too is like a virtue of people just not being able to like contextualize and read like headlines or news stories correctly. Like they just like, oh, I saw this tweet. And instead of like thinking about it and breaking it down, what this means, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, AEW's in the mud. Do. Or you're going to be making some crash out thumbnails like Eric Bischoff is, and like Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo Bay is insane. Look at people who make anti-AEW content and then look at the next video drop-offs like 70%. That's why I respect you, Omer. You can critique, but you never hate. Yeah, no, I mean, like, hey, man, here's the thing. There is stuff in wrestling I hate. And a lot of it, like a lot of it is like the tribalism. Like, I'm not a big fan of that stuff. I think it's bullshit, and I think it's like, it's hurting a lot of people's viewing of wrestling. Like, if you don't like something, don't watch. It's okay. Watch what this. That's the best part about this current era. Like, I genuinely love this current era of wrestling, because no matter who you are, no matter what you like, there's something on that you know you can connect with and you can love. And if your only like relationship to wrestling is hating on something, if your only relationship to wrestling is, oh, let me drag Tony Khan, let me drag Triple H, then man, just don't watch. I'm sure you can find something better to do with your time. But that's the internet, man. I've been on Twitter for long enough to know that tribalism is just going to be a thing. It's just going to happen. What are you going to do about it? Without competition, I wouldn't AEW. I wouldn't watch wrestling. Yeah, and that's a good thing, man. Like AEW got a lot of people back into wrestling. AEW got me back into like watching like comparing a lot of wrestling. Before that, I stopped watching WWE. The only thing I was keeping up with was New Japan. So is it weak? He has no balls. Triple H is doing a good job. Hey, bro, I got enough balls to block you from this chat. In the words of the immortal Mick Foley, who signed a picture for me, have a nice day, Raymond. Everybody don't love Raymond, though. Oh, man. All right. Oh, man. Anyway, guys, be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. They took TikTok, but they didn't take Twitter. Yeah, bro. Yeah, take Twitter instead, bro. Nah, not like Congress. If you're gonna ban something, please ban Twitter. People's brains are way too cooked. We don't we can't handle it, obviously. Oh man. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. What do we got? TikTok is back, though. Yeah, TikTok is back. It's almost like banning TikTok was never about national security at all, and it had to do with something totally different. Ooh, wow. YouTube.com/Omer Q show for that's nonsense, guys. Omer, you've forgotten more wrestling than Raymond has ever watched. Probably. I mean, look, I don't know who Raymond is. I don't know how old they are, but hey, man, I watched a shit ton of wrestling. I was like, before like they took away the network, I was like making my way through the WCCW like catalog. Bro, there's a lot of good wrestling in there. I mean, it's crazy like to go back and watch some of the old stuff, because like you obviously have to go back and watch it through like a lens. You can't just be like, all right, I'm gonna compare this to like Okada Omega, or I'm gonna compare this to, you know, Cody and Roman. Like, no, it's well, actually, it's a lot of it is like more similar to Cody and Roman than it is Okada Omega. But you know, like especially for its time, and when you go back and watch like the manipulation of the crowd and how like and the workup, like, you know, like them working up to those big spots, it's really interesting to see. But yeah, no, I mean, I can't watch that anymore though, because they took it away from Peacock, and now the network doesn't exist. So even if I have a VPN, I can't go back and watch it. It just sucks. And that's the thing about the library too. Like people like WWE, like they have this massive library, and now you're not going to be able to access most of it. Like we went from having like all of these old libraries, the WCW library, the WCCW library, you know, Smoky Mountain, like all this insane catalog of wrestling at our fingertips at any point we wanted. We could go back, watch, and I had a lot of fun doing that. But now, like, a lot of it is not on Peacock. None of it is on Netflix. WCW, ECW stuff isn't even on Netflix. So it sucks. Like, you went from having that, and then like they kind of took it away. I can't speak on ROH. I never watched the show. Hey, man, ROH is... If there's one show that Tony needs to stop booking, it's that, man. Shout out to Athena. She's like the only thing that's keeping that show alive at this point. Battle of the Role Models, Bayley versus Britt Baker. That could cook. That could cook. I think they would have a good match. Remember when Vince did a lie detector test on TV? That was some Kenny Baum highbrow comedy. Shout out to Kenny Baum. Go subscribe to his channel. But no. I mean, I remember that. That was a Vince McMahon ass segment, wasn't it? That was a Vince McMahon ass segment, guys. Like, my boy was not my boy. No. Don't put that on me. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. All right, thank you so much. Can you give me advice for editing my videos like you do for Wrestle Vibes, Jermaine? Yeah. I like start in CapCut because it's like a free tool you can use, and just record and start experimenting with stuff immediately. Like that's the biggest thing. Like before I really got to like good at YouTube, like or like not even good. Like I'm still working on things obviously, but like before I like started like doing this, like the stuff that made me engaged and really made me have fun with this was like trying out different things, trying out live streams, trying out like, producing stuff. If you're going to be making like more docu-style stuff, then definitely either write a script or be like brain broken like me and like just be able to go off the dome for a couple of minutes about whatever the topic is, and play around with the editing. Watch some YouTube videos about editing. Like a lot of them are really quick and easy to do. And yeah, just like kind of like don't be afraid to like learn and make mistakes along the way either. I have an idea for the Death Riders. Take 5 or 6 current AEW wrestlers, make them climb a ladder, for instance. Take Powerhouse Hobbs, make him wrestle Yuta. You mean the little like brass ring gimmick they did a couple of years ago? That's what we not doing. Shout out to you though, bro. The rumor is that we didn't like old school wrestling on the network. I thought that's what they were talking about. Yeah, I mean, I can promise you it was like not like the most watched stuff, but as a fan of wrestling, I love that stuff. I was making my way through the tape libraries. If he wins next week and he wrestles Pac, if he wins, then Claudio. But, okay, I could see that. Oh, no. We got TK. NXTNA wins again. Also, Britt Baker versus Charlotte and Mania would be an absolute piss break match for me. I can't wait to talk non-wrestling stuff with my friends when that happens at Mania. Hey, man, look, that match would cook. Charlotte would definitely cook. If you guys want to start getting into editing, M4 Mac Mini base model is only $599. For price, it outperforms most PCs in that range. Professional editing. There you go. 1980s NWA had the aura to it. Man, the flair for the gold, baby. Flair for the gold. Go watch it. Well, you can't really watch it, can you? You have to go on YouTube or whatever. Yeah. Guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We're still going strong. What else do you guys want to talk about? Be sure to also, if you want to guarantee your question or statement is read out on the air, be sure to leave a super chat. But also hit that like button. It really helps out more than you know. We got TikTok is addictive. I agree. I agree. TikTok is addictive. Yeah, I think everyone kind of hates tribalism in wrestling. We got Frank in the chat. What they're doing with the New Day, I haven't seen them on Raw in a minute. The New Day are just like mad. They're just mad, and they're continuing to be angry. Yeah, that's about it. We're the New Day, and we're mad. And we hate Big E because he broke his neck, or he had his neck broken. Billy Corgan's wrestling like his music and stinks. Hey, man, he had that one good song, what was it? Oh, God, I now have to pull out a Smashing Pumpkins catalog on Spotify. No. The Smashing Pumpkins did have a couple of good songs. Today was a good song. Was that one? Or the other one? The world is a vampire. In spite of my rage, I'm still running. All right. Since you have an Xbox in 3 days, there's Xbox Developers Direct. I hope they have a big surprise for us. Hey, man. I hope so, too. The only thing I play on this Xbox, though, is Madden, so I don't know how useful it will be for me. You think John Cena will answer Joe Hendry's challenge to show up in Impact? If I'm Impact, I am begging WWE to have John Cena show up at that Slammiversary show in New York, because they have a massive arena to sell out, and John Cena would sell that out. It was at the Billy Corgan. I sing through my nose. I sing through my nose, and I'm Billy Corgan, and I know I bought the NWA after I failed booking TNA. I don't know. What's up with Vikingo? Heard Triple A stopped him from doing AEW shows because their relationship with CMLL. Disclaimer: reports don't have much legs. I haven't heard too much about that. It's obvious Triple A and CMLL do not have a good relationship, but I haven't heard anything like that. He was a GCW, so he's available to work in America, I guess. But maybe that is the case. I don't know. I should order my food now, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should probably do that. I'm gonna do that. That way, by the time we're done, it's here. That's the smart thing. A guy like me to. What happened to Diablo? Are you talking about El Diablo Guapo Hook? He's still there. I've been loving classic Doom on Xbox, so I can't wait for more Doom they're making. They also have surprise old Japanese IP getting new entry. Hey, man, that's shout out to that. That's some Kenny Bomb, Just Bryant. Hit them up about this because this is what I don't know about. This is the one thing I don't. The one thing his brain doesn't retain: video game stuff. Is there tribalism in Mexico? Amongst the wrestling companies, it's less tribalism, I think, and more just like these companies have been around for a while. Like CMLL has been around for like almost 100 years, and they have a very, very complicated relationship with other companies there by virtue of that. These companies do not like each other. Wait, NWA is on X, aka Twitter? Maybe. I have no idea. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I'm sure they're hyping him. Yeah. I don't know, man. I want to say Real Take Gaming Channel. That's the channel that I would like hand off to someone and be like, let's rev split here, buddy, because this is what I don't know about if I ever started that. Or it would be me like learning how to play games and just that. But even then, I would probably brand that under me. And it would be on Twitch. It would be on Twitch. Yeah. What else do we got to talk about? Oh, yeah. We probably should talk about Mania, shouldn't we? Let's go into that real quick, guys. Yeah, Chelsea Green did crash out a little bit. No, shout out to her, though. All I know is Hitchin is goated. Yo, that Hitchin Zack Sabre Jr. match is insane. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch that Battle in the Valley. Hitchin Zack Sabre Jr. They cooked. Like that was like I did not even expect that match to be that good, and it was a 5-star match for me. All right. WrestleMania, let's get into this. So it looks like WrestleMania is coming. Potentially. Oh, psych, that's the wrong scene. It looks like WrestleMania is coming back to New Orleans. Word making the rounds, according to PW Insider, word making the rounds locally in Louisiana that New Orleans, as they call it, currently the front runner to host WrestleMania 42 next year. Big move if that it is indeed the case. Of course, WrestleMania 30 and 34 previously held at the Superdome in New Orleans, which would likely be the location. Would be the location for this show. And that's a big deal. It's a big deal. First time Mania is coming back there in 8 years. And there's been some big moments. Obviously, the ascent of Bryan Danielson in WWE, the return of Bryan Danielson in WWE, and of course, that's where the streak ended. So you would think they would follow all of that up with something great if it is indeed the case. But of course, WWE is trying to probably build up every WrestleMania to be amazing. Yeah, this is a big one though. I mean, it also like brings in the question, like, you know, there's a lot of people who are clamoring, and rightfully so. England has been clamoring for a while to have a WrestleMania. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, guys. And I know this is not a popular take, but it is the truth. And I don't like it anymore as you do. There will 100% be a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia before there is a WrestleMania in London. I promise you this. Because they're holding the Royal Rumble there next year is a bit of a test run. It's a media test run. And I think eventually we're going to have, like before WrestleMania 50 for sure, there's going to be a Saudi WrestleMania, 100%. And like you look at like the kind of landscape, right? The time for like WWE, like a lot of people are basically like, oh, like what would WWE do? Like how well would they sell? I genuinely think, like, you know, it is a bit of a problem that AEW is going to be running like at Wembley for WWE. I mean, like multiple times by the time they probably get around there. Like at this point, like it's going to be a couple of years minimum before a WrestleMania comes to Wembley Stadium. And by that time, like AEW will have at least run Wembley 3 times right? Because 2023, 2024, and 2026, they're going back to Wembley Stadium for All In. And how much of that is going to saturate the market? And because, like, it used to be the case. Like, if WWE ran Wembley before AEW did in 2023, I promise you this, that would have been the biggest crowd in wrestling history. Because that was a region and a population that was starved for wrestling who loved wrestling. That's why when AEW went back, it was never going to be 80,000 people in that stadium. So part of me is like, like how much of that is going to like, this could have been one of the biggest shows ever WWE went, but I don't think that's going to be the case when they eventually do it. Next year, it's going to be a 6-month show. Yeah. This year, WrestleMania is going to be a 2-week show. You'll get to see LA Knight eating lunch, Cody going to pee, Penta trying Mysterio's mask. Oh, man. Wall Street Money says, I'm going to have to sell my kidney, take out a second mortgage, do tax fraud just for nosebleed seats. Yeah, these seats are not great. That's like me, like, looking at, like, some of these tickets because I'm going up for Elimination Chamber, and I'm like, I got my eye on some of these tickets, and I'm just like, God damn. It's expensive. like these tickets right now would run me more than my airfare and hotel combined. That is a problem. Anyway, well, it is what it is. I mean, it was the same case. I spent more. We're not going to do this. We are not going to do this. Reality Era says, can I just say poor Nick Wayne is going to get killed by Joe? Just hope they promote shows ahead of time. Yeah. He's going to get absolutely clobbered by Samoa Joe. As he should. Honestly, as he should probably. Although at this point, I'm just waiting for Nick Wayne to... that man needs to turn on Christian Cage. They need to do it, man. Have Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian turn on Christian Cage. And then... have our boy Adam Copeland make the save. Give me Edge and Christian one last time. Come on. Or Cope. Give me Cope and Christian. Christian Cope? Cope and Christian. Cope and Christian. CNC. Oh my God. Omer spent more money on WWE tickets than AEW shows. Yeah, in 2024 I did. And I went to 3 WWE shows compared to like, at least 5 AEW shows. I went to a lot of AEW shows. That was crazy. It's crazier. With The Rock not working WrestleMania, do you think he'll headline the first 2 nights of SummerSlam as an option? He could. By then, the Moana reshoots will be done, but the infamous Moana reshoots will be done, but who knows? Does he want to work SummerSlam? I understand it's the first 2 night SummerSlam, but does he want to work SummerSlam? And what would the story be, right? Because we know that, last time around, it was the case that he wanted to work Cody, right? That was the big thing. The Rock wanted to work Cody, but given the fact that they essentially wrote that storyline off, is he still going to want to work Cody? Or is the match just have The Rock's last match against Roman Reigns as they've kind of been alluding and planning for? He will always be Edge to me. I mean, he had that name for like 20, 30 years, of course. I would love to see Caster join the Hurt Business and Bowens team up with Swerve. Oh, that could cook. I could be down for that. Could you? Oh, but they beat Matt Caster's ass. Bobby Lashley and Joe Mendes would be like, Caster? He would probably be like the comedic relief for that group for sure. But I think you would need another guy to really build up. Maybe it's Bowens, actually. Maybe they're doing the other way around. Go off on these horrible ticket prices. You spent enough money on WWE to buy 2 Hondas. Nah, bro, not even 05 Hondas, 25 Hondas. Not even 2005 Hondas, 2025 Hondas, bro. The Mania tickets were not cheap. Let me tell you, man, Real Tape Wrestling did not pay for those. Real Time Wrestling. The Rock working TKO coming out here saying it looked like The Rock working TKO coming out here saying, we are sponsored by Fortnite. Bro, he's him shouting out Ted Sarandos and Bella Bajaria, who nobody in professional wrestling knows, was crazy. He's like, look at these executives. Look at these other executives. That was a corporate ass segment. Like, that was crazy. Do you think Baxcaster is getting a new beat, or he'll give up the rapping gimmick? I think he'll probably still be rap adjacent. Like he'll do it whenever it's appropriate. Like, it's in his arsenal. But I think the whole like the Acclaim, like that whole stuff is done. I can't take Caster seriously as the best in the world. I think that's the point. That's been the point for like the past year. Like, it's like he says it and it's like, the fuck, you're not. I think the point is you're supposed to be annoyed. Which, again, I understand people are diminishing returns, but I'm just glad to see the Acclaim stuff moving on, right? At least that's moving forward, unlike some of the other stuff we've seen. Anyway, guys. What do we want to do here? We could do I'll do another 10 minutes. I'll give you guys 10 more minutes. So get your chats in. Be sure to leave a thumbs up. Please, 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 you guys, when you leave a thumbs up, that is the best way to support the channel and make sure more people see the stream, see the video, and it gets pushed into that algorithm. We excited for Raw tonight, man. That's what we not doing. It's my night off. I'm going to go watch a movie with the family because that's what we do, bro. Family. I'm on my Don Toretto shit tonight. Where would you book Hangman next? I would love for him to go up against Okada and then reunite with Kota and Kenny. I would honestly like to see a feud with him and Kenny, but I know it's probably not going to be next. But I think Okada versus Kenny needs to be like Brian. I think Okada and Kenny needs to be built up as like the biggest match in AEW history. Genuinely. And I think there's a way to do it. Like, if I'm them, pull out the bells and whistles, like make Okada versus Kenny for the AEW championship. Like, make it title for title. The way I would book it is have Kenny win at Double or Nothing, and then in the Casino Gauntlet match to determine who the number one contender is for the AEW title at All In at Double or Nothing, have Kazuchika Okada win that, and have it be known weeks in advance. Okada, Omega, All In, whatever, Globe Life Field, main event. That is it. That's what they should do. That's what they should build towards, and build it up like Stone Cold versus The Rock going to X7, the biggest clash of two of the greatest stars of this era. You do that, you'll sell 20,000 plus seats. I promise you. Just Brian says, we'll discuss in the chat. I'm sure there will be discussions in the chat. I'm not watching Raw tonight. It's just what I'm not doing, man. But shout out to Triple H, man. I hear exactly, bro. The national championship game is on tonight. Notre Dame is playing. The Irish. Oh, make potatoes. Like, come on, they're gonna be cooking. Oh man. But it feels like no one actually, because it's Ohio State and Notre Dame. That's why. Nobody wants to see Ohio State win, and a lot of people don't want to see Notre Dame win. I think Hangman is going to be a champ again soon. I think that could happen. He is the main character of AEW. Don't forget that. So he'll be champ again. I'd like to see Tajiri in AEW. What do you think of GCW show last night? Alley Cat GoFundMe for that nasty. Yep. Shout out to Alley Cat. I mean, that was a horrible injury. If you guys go to, I think, the GCW Twitter page, and here, I'll actually just link it here in the chat, because shout out to her. That was a devastating injury. She broke her leg. Let me see if I can find the GoFundMe link. Okay, yep, I got it here. So please support her in her recovery. It was a gruesome injury. If you can support, please consider doing it. Her GoFundMe is linked in the chat, so please check that out. Yeah, shout out to her, and hopefully she makes a full recovery soon. We got a question. Is Raw 3 hours or 2 hours? About 2.5. Just Brian says, the Boulders are not playing. Who cares? Bro, if you don't shut the fuck up with your whack-ass sports take, ain't nobody care about Colorado. Who the fuck cares about Colorado? They are a mid-team, bro. This was the best chance they had to build a winning team. This is the best team. They had a Heisman Trophy winner, and they didn't even come close to making the college football playoff. I'm so sick. I love Deion Sanders. I think he's a great coach, but I'm so sick of this overhyped, overblown nonsense that people be pushing about Colorado. They are a media creation. They are not ready yet. Prime, I think, is ready, but they did not have the talent. And honestly, he didn't get the most out of it. Nah, don't get me started on this rant, bro. Nah, don't get me started on this rant, bro. Don't do this. Don't do this. If they were good enough, they would have made the college football playoff. How you doing? All right. Let's talk about the most overhyped team of all time. Oh, man. I mean, it was heartfelt. I love Brian though. Shout out to Brian. Go subscribe to his channel. But but like, man, I am so sick of people because everybody's talking about Colorado. I'm like, bro, nobody cares about that whack-ass, bum-ass team that Deion's gonna leave in a year to go to the NFL. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Deion Sanders is not gonna be around, man. Wall Street Money, yo. How did you get into the WrestleDream Media Scrum? I requested press from AEW's media team, and they allowed me in. But nobody cares, man. I'm sorry, Brian. I love you, bro. And y'all ain't getting Shedeur Sanders. That's what's not happening. The Giants are not getting that man. Oh, man. Don't get me started talking about college football, bro. I will cook. I will make a real take sports video right now, cooking Colorado. Oh, man. He's going to Dallas. I don't know if... Maybe. I mean, if there's one job that would prime out immediately, it would be Dallas. But I don't know if he wants to deal with Jerry Jones. I also think New York could be an option for him. Genuinely. Watch out for that one. Sorry, Brian, but like... Boulder. Boulder. I don't even know her, bro. Ain't nobody care about no Boulders. The Rock, bro. That's the Rock that we don't care about. Come on now. All right. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Wall Street Money. Thank you, Brian. Brian said Giants ? Aren't you a Giants fan? Did I make that up? No, you're definitely a Giants fan. We talked about this. Would you take a job as a writer for AEW? The amount of money they would have to pay me. And I would have to work remotely because I'm not doing all that traveling. Unless they pay me an insane amount of money. But there is an amount. Who you got in the Super Bowl? Football is what I don't care about right now. The Ravens lost yesterday. We're cooked. Mark Andrews couldn't catch a cold during flu season. It's crazy. I don't know. Go Commanders. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. How about those Ravens? Shut up, man. Fuck the Eagles. I'm mad. Yeah, I'm mad too, man. I'm mad too. What do I have to do to ask? What do I have to do for you to ask Tony Khan in a media scrum for Yankee Stadium? You have to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Ayo. I mean, I would have to go to a media scrum to actually do that. Chiefs are 3. That's what. No. Nope. I'm not even gonna entertain that. Honestly, I'd be happy at any team that's not the Bills. To be honest with you, I fucking hate the Bills right now. Anyway, guys, I'm cooked. This country is also cooked. Everything is cooked, but professional wrestling is great. Go watch some good wrestling, whether it's Raw, whether it's GCW, TNA, AEW, doesn't matter. I want you guys to go make yourselves happy watching wrestling. Please, please, please do that for me. Also, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Daniel, Reality Era, Just Brian, Kenny Baum, Job, every single person. Frank, who showed up, showed out. Wall Street, Muddy. I love all of you. Leo Relic, who was here from the beginning. Appreciate all of y'all. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.